Welcome back to Your Voice. For this episode, I want to talk about dilemmas, being avoidant, what ifs, this or that, as well as a too good to be true. Yeah, I run into the what if one very often in a sense of like, if I'm doing something and I don't have enough confidence in that set action, and then that kind of just makes me think about all the side possibilities of why that or some of these things may not work in my favor. When you have like two set things that you don't know what to choose between, and chances are they both might be unpleasant things. Jumping between this and that is not easy because on one hand you could have this, and on the other hand you could have that. But now you have to kind of weigh this one's a further commute, this one's not a further commute. Even though this one's not a further commute, it's just like you could just keep going on, and that's kind of the way like that dilemma forms itself. Is because now you have a much harder time just choosing between the two, but at the same time you don't want to just go off. You don't want to go off on a whim. But I feel like strictly with it being like an avoidant person, it's like I said, it could work, but also couldn't work. And I feel like you decide to just not go for all together. That might end up being your downfall. You weren't there to experience that because you were so caught up juggling the two situations, guessing the what is, avoiding the bad possibilities. And then as we roll into the last one, we're gonna talk about too good to be true. Because what do you mean you have all these things to offer and there's nothing bad that comes with you? That doesn't make sense. There's always something. Or at least to most people, they're gonna think there's always something. Sometimes it just isn't. Sometimes it just is what it is, and it's just that. And that right there is what you should be taking. Because when else are you gonna stumble across something as raw and as giving as what it is right there?